Sherrine Teoh and I'm an image consultant. I'm also a registered PA trainer for the last 13 years already. So as an image consultant, I deal with topics that is grooming, image, etiquette and deportment related. And today we are going to talk about social etiquette. Okay, so what do you do when you meet people? What's the correct way to behave so that you leave a good impression with the person that you are meeting or with the networking people that you are meeting? I know now it's a little bit tricky, we cannot really go out and network, right? So it's good for us to be prepared. So when the economy opens up and when things starts to open up, that we can go out and meet more friends, that's when all these skills that you have learned during this period of time will come in very useful. So thank you for joining me. So today we'll cover a few things. First of all, we will cover proper introduction in a while, and the handshake, and some social dining tips, right? Okay, so what is social etiquette? What is etiquette? Okay, when I first started as an image consultant, I thought maybe there is a fixed rules, a whole list of etiquette rules that I can follow. But it's not a 10-year series day, it's not something that is so fixed. Okay, basically etiquette comes about when you have consideration for other people. Okay, think about it. For example, gym etiquette. Okay, there's such thing as called gym etiquette, which means after you finish using the equipment, you got to wipe dry because of your perspiration. You have to put back the weights. Okay, that means in consideration for other people, you are doing all these things. So that's good gym etiquette that you have just heard. Okay, so that's an example. You also have driving etiquette. We have dining etiquette. Things that you do, it's in consideration for other people. You will not hurt other people. You will not make other people upset. Okay, you will not make things inconvenient or embarrassing for other people. Right? The main thing about social etiquette is it powers relationship. It's not just there to do the correct thing, but it powers relationship because people start to have good impression of you. They start to be comfortable with you. Okay, so how about addressing people? Okay, let's start off with addressing people. Okay, we have a lot of times come across when we call the call center and they will ask you, and you are Miss. So do I say Miss Teoh, or I'm Miss Sherrine, or I'm Miss Sherrine Teoh, right? So this is a little bit tricky, and sometimes when you want to address somebody, especially if you are out in the society and you want to call somebody, maybe that person is called Lina. I said, may I have Miss Lina? Is that the correct way of addressing? So let me just go into it and show you how we can address in the different ways, yeah? Okay, I prepared a list here. Okay, I hope you can see clearly. Yes? Right, there are a few ways, several ways actually, to proper addressing. Okay, the first one, we have got Miss, as in M-I-S-S, and M-S, Ms. Right, what's the difference? Which one is definitely single? Okay, the M-I-S-S is definitely single. So you fill in application form. This is very basic, right? So you know you are not married, obviously M-I-S-S. If you are married, okay, but you don't want people to know that you are married, okay, for whatever reason, maybe you are married but you are only 22 years old, and don't want people to know. Okay, so you can use MS. Okay, but if I am not married, I may also want to use MS because I am not married but I'm 45 years old. I don't want people to know that I'm not married. Unnecessary questioning. So I'll put MS. So MS is like for people to guess whether you are married or not married. Okay, MISS, definitely you are single. Okay, then we'll move on to Miss Teoh versus Miss Sherrine. I'm Sherrine Teoh, so I'm using my example. So which is correct way of addressing? Okay, sometimes people don't give much thought into it, but Miss Teoh is the correct way of addressing a person. address them by their last name, okay, which is the surname. So Miss Sherrine, it's inappropriate. Yeah. Then we have got Mrs. Sherrine Teoh versus Mrs. Kelvin Lai. Okay, my husband is Kelvin Lai, so I'll use him as my example. The appropriate way is, have you heard of Mr. and Mrs. Lee Kuan Yew? Okay, so I'm actually called Mrs. Kelvin Lai. Okay, you don't call me Mrs. Sherrine Teoh. If you want to call me Mrs. Sherrine Teoh, you should actually call me Madam Sherrine Teoh. Okay, because I'm married lah. Okay, unless I'm called Miss Sherrine Teoh, then that's different. Okay, not married. So as long as I'm married with a husband, I'm Mrs. Kelvin Lai. Okay, now there's a madam here. Madam works similar to Miss, okay, or Mrs. If you just want to use one of your name, you Madam Sherrine, Madam Teoh. You only can use Madam Teoh. Okay, one of your names, which is the last name. Madam Teoh, Miss Teoh, Mrs. Okay, if I'm married, I'm Mrs. Lai. Okay, I'm not Mrs. Teoh. My husband is Lai, so I've taken after his surname. There are exceptions, like our other race friends. For example, Siti, her name is Siti. I told you that we can only use surname, right? But Siti is different. For them, they use their first name, Madam Siti. If you use their last name, become Madam Muhammad something, you end up calling their father. It's very weird. Okay, so Madam Siti. Alright, so you get an idea of how do we use proper addressing. So the next time somebody asks you, you are Miss, so tell them I'm Miss Teoh. Okay, or I'm Miss Sherrine Teoh. Please don't tell them, oh, you call me Miss Sherrine. So that's an incorrect way of addressing. Okay? Okay, so I'll put this aside. Okay, moving on to handshake. Okay, there are many different ways that people do handshake. And handshake is important because it can make or break that first impression. Because that's your first point of contact with somebody, right? So if you shake too hard, people will like, wow, remember you as somebody who shook their hands too hard. If somebody who is very strong, you know, will not considerate whether you hurt the person or not. So if you shake too gentle, the person will feel that, wow, this person is like so faint in contact. You know, the impression is not very secure, you know what I mean? Okay, so let me show you a proper handshake, and then I will share with you some examples that I came across. Okay, I have my daughter to come in to help me. Okay, I think I need to adjust the height. I'm going to stand up. Okay, so she will show how a good handshake is going to be like together with me. So she's my example. Okay, right. So, okay, this is a web. Okay, a web. So a good handshake is a web, her web and my web, web to web, all the way in, and then 2-3 palms. Look at each other and smile. Alright, eye contact. 3 things important: the eye contact, smile, 2-3 palms. Please don't shake. Oh, nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. You're very excited, but please don't do that. Okay, so all the way in, eye contact, smile. Okay, 2-3 palms only. Alright, don't squash the person's hand. Okay, it's painful. Alright, and don't do this like, oh, hello, nice to meet you. So, what kind of respect is that? Don't just shaking the fingernails or the fingers. Alright, so it's not much of respect. So there are some people who shake hands and they look at you and say, oh, hello, and then the eyes move faster than where they are shaking. Give people the respected 1 or 2 seconds, if there are a lot of people, to shake their hands. In that 1-2 seconds, look at them. Okay, so you will not be any form of disrespect or just make people feel that you are going through the motion, right? Okay, thank you. Okay, so yes, right. So I have came across people who, when they shake hands, they really just do the fingernail shake. Yeah, some of them very hard. Even until today, I sometimes recall, oh, that friend, remember that friend who shook hand very hard? Yeah, so it sort of make or break your impression upon other people. Okay, so let's move on. There are some social dining tips that I would like to share with you. Right? When you meet friends, naturally you will talk to friends, especially when you meet friends in a very casual and networking style. Okay, so when that happens, there are some little tips to remember. It's not meeting your good friends, sit down and have a laugh and have a meal. It's like a bit of a networking event. So when you go out there, make sure you remember that you are not there just for the food. Okay, food is secondary. If you recall, when we have fine dining, okay, in nice restaurants, they always have nice setup, right? And when that happens, you know that you're not going to sit there for half an hour or 1 hour only, compared to how you're going to have your meal in the coffee house, the hawker centers. Okay, you know, the more calories you see, the more time you will take for that meal. Okay, so here I'm going to show you that in every networking event, actually, you have, besides food is not the main priority. The other thing is you need to have 3 connections. Basically, this is a bit of a sidetrack, but it's good to have 3 connections, new friends that you make during the networking event. Okay, and when you have a drink, there is a 1 drink rule, because you want to avoid being tipsy, cannot think straight, or rather you are all flushed. You know, sometimes we cannot control, right? That our face tells everything. Okay, because you're all flushed. Okay, so those are the things to remember. The other thing is when we have a glass. Okay, this is a little extra information for you. There are 2 different glasses here. Okay, one is for red, one is for white. Are you able to guess? Okay. Okay, so if you have guessed correctly, the larger rim and the larger glass is for the red. Okay, and the smaller glass, smaller rim is for the white. Okay, white is to be drunk in, is chilled. Okay, the chilled temperature means below 18 degrees. That's for red. The temperature that is very chilled, it's like ice cold temperature. Where else red wine is to be normal temperature, and the normal temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. Which means that Singapore don't have 18 degrees Celsius, right? Okay, so we always chill it. Okay, so this is the glass. So when I have a dining situation in a networking event, so always hold it on the left hand, okay, and clip it on at the side like this. Okay, so you can leave your right hand free. If you hold it on the right hand and then when you meet somebody, it's like, oh yeah, nice to meet you, and your hands are all wet. Okay, so it's not very nice. And then if you start doing this, okay, and you want to shake people's hand, and people will feel like, did you just go to the toilet or something? Okay, so it's nice that you always keep the glass on your left hand and keep your right hand free. Okay, and then on the left, you put it together with the plate. You hold it together like this. If you have, a plate for canapes, any small bites you can put here. Okay, so we put it together and you are free to talk to friends. Some networking event, they have a plate with a holder. That's even better. Okay, so if not, you can put them together. Make sure you manage to have a good grip. Okay, and then you can continue your chat. Keep to a glass. Okay, during the whole event. Right? So that's for you. Socially, how do you carry yourself when you go out and meet friends? Okay, so that's for my social etiquette short session today. No more than 20 minutes, and I hope you have useful and good takeaways so that you can use it where we are all over with our phase 2, phase 3. You can go out there and while you're enjoying yourself, these are some little tips that you can impress people. And I've shown you these little tips that you can prepare yourself for all different kind of situations. Even with friends, okay, you have consideration for other people, you will make good friends as well. Okay, with that, thank you very much. My name is Sherrine Teoh, and a trainer with People Association. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Thank you.